episode 25 of the Marvel Mondays initiative here on the Penultimate Conquest. Today's topic is, of course, our discussion of Guardians of the Galaxy as part of our MCU Rewind series. Ruben, you got a face. Just what's up?
I thought I was hosting today.
Are you?
I assumed so. It said my name on the doc.
I thought I was hosting.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
What do we do?
Go right ahead. By all means, go ahead.
Is this true? Big if true.
Yeah, it says me hosting. You're hosting Shang-Chi.
All right, go ahead, man.
Oh, you want to save Shang-Chi? Okay, all right. All right.
Go ahead.
Fair enough. Yeah, welcome to Marvel Mondays, the show where we do stuff with the MCU. That threw me way off, Christian.
You said it's ready, so I just started going.
Well, yeah, I know, but I didn't expect you to, I appreciate you doing all the legwork for me because
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I didn't know, so
That's all right. That's okay. Today we are talking about Guardians of the Galaxy for our MCU Rewind series. Sheesh. I am your host, Ruben Guerrero, the director of the Penultimate Conquest. With me, I have the man, the myth, the legend, the hot one, Cristian Macias. Cristian, how you doing today?
I'm doing a lot better. Friday was rough.
Yeah?
But I survived. I was scared for a moment, but I survived.
You survived. Was it worth it?
Yeah. Of course, and I'm doing it again in 2 weeks.
Oh, no. Christian.
I
Is it a new season?
For reference, I did the Hot Ones challenge on my stream, and apparently I used too much sauce. I'm supposed to use less, so now I know.
Okay.
I'm just doing it with other friends.
Now, this is a seasonal thing, correct? If I recall you saying this is like
Yeah.
a seasonal box of hot
This
sauce?
is season 15, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. We'll see how that goes. Until then, Christian.
Yeah.
Let's get into some Marvel news for the week. Oh, before we do that, I'm sorry. We have some podcast updates. This week, we have some shows going on as we usually do. Tomorrow, we're going deep into the Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island expansion, and we might even go into some Legends. I'm thinking about it. I'm getting real, antsy about it. I might want to, but, I don't have a crew to go with, but...
Hit up Eric. I'm sure he would let's play.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, obviously, Eric is not here because of the hurricane that Louisiana is getting hit with. So he'll be back for next week for Shang-Chi. Fingers crossed. But yeah, we'll see if Eric's up for it. I doubt he has work tomorrow, so you might be right.
Yeah.
Wednesday is the Cross Media Show, and we're supposed to be starting our new Netflix review series with Christian. What's the movie?
It says Beckett.
It says Beckett, but what's the movie that we just talked about?
I don't even know what it's called. He's the man? No, that doesn't even sound right.
He's all that.
He's all that.
So we'll see how that goes. I just need to find a crew. I'm forming a crew for a heist, and I need to find a crew. All right? God, what I would give for a good fucking heist movie right now. Jesus Christ. I might even watch
the Oceans movies.
I was just going to say I might watch Ocean's 11 tonight.
Banger. Probably the best one.
Yeah.
13's good too.
13's good. I think all of them are good,
Yeah.
And, of course, Thursday is the Penultimate Game Show where we'll be doing our semi-annual State of the Union, where we check in with PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, see where they're at, I'm excited for that. We'll see.
Yeah.
This should be an exciting episode, though. So, let's get into some Marvel news. The third episode of What If the world lost its mightiest heroes? Christian, what did you think of this? I didn't watch it.
I didn't even watch it either.
Okay, all right, good. I did want to point out last week I forgot to. What is going on with? For some reason, the Collector in the Black Panther episode was really, really buff.
Yeah.
But he's not buff in this movie that we just saw this week.
Wasn't he buff in the comics? I'm assuming.
Okay. It was just weird. I figured they would stay proportionate to the actor, especially since he voiced them again.
True. Which it didn't even sound like Benicio del Toro.
It did it. And honestly, what is Benicio del Toro doing in the MCU? You know, it's such a weird ass pull.
Just vibing. I love it. It's cool.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, it is cool. It's just like one of those things, I guess. Where
Also, how come you didn't watch the third episode?
I just
Yeah,
haven't
just
gotten
curious.
around to it. I haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah. Same.
I don't even know. Well, obviously we just saw it, but I do know some things about it. Like, do you want me to spoil this for you?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
Okay. All right. We'll see how it goes. I guess we'll talk about it next week. We also have Shang-Chi premiering this week in theaters, and Disney's OneShot, All Hail the King, premiered on Disney. I want to say last week, because I definitely did see it last week on Disney Plus. Which brings us to my updated theory, or a new theory, I guess. Christian, here's how. Let me paint a picture for you, okay? I want you to close your eyes. Are your eyes closed?
They're
Okay.
close. Yeah,
All
they're
right.
close.
The opening shot of Shang-Chi starts off with the end of the one shot, All Hail the King. Trevor Slattery is getting pulled out of jail, and all we hear is the Mandarin is waiting. Sorry, the Mandarin is waiting. That's the line that we hear. And the next scene we see is Trevor Slattery being thrown onto the floor, and we see I don't know this actor's name, but whoever's playing the Mandarin, the real Mandarin,
Tony
ask
Long, man.
I don't know.
He's only one of the most critically acclaimed actors right now. Like
Listen, I have never seen this guy
in
before in my
Asia.
life.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize, Tony Long. My deepest humble apologies. Please don't kill me with these 10 rings. We see him with the 10 rings on his arms, right? And he's asking questions. He's like, "The fuck are you doing, bro?" Exactly like that. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Who told you to become the Mandarin? Like, no, it's not how this works. And we just see Trevor like so nonchalantly say, "Well, how the fuck was I supposed to know? You know, I just did what I was told, man. I just did what I was told." But with that nice English accent, I can't pull off an English accent. And then boom, he kills him, and that's the 10 rings logo is just out of his blood. And there you go. That's the beginning of Shang-Chi.
Can I open my eyes?
Yes, you can open your eyes.
Okay. Have you seen this? The All Hail the King?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, how does it end? Him coming out of jail?
Yeah, it ends with the Mandarin's people like pulling him out of jail, like breaking him out of jail.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is why I thought he was coming back, and apparently I was right.
Well, when I saw that Ben Kingsley was on the red carpet, I was like, oh, maybe
As
the Mandarin's
usual.
in the movie.
Yeah,
But then like this drops on Disney. It's like maybe he's not in the movie at all.
no, this dropped way after.
True.
This dropped after Iron Man 3. No,
All
sorry.
Hail the All Hail the King thing?
Yeah, this was on the Iron Man 3 Blu-ray or DVD. It was an extra.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I did not know this.
yeah. You should
Oh.
check out. There's a couple more one-shots. I don't know if they're like relevant.
Is it cool? Should I check it out?
You should definitely watch this one. Yes,
Okay.
I
I'll
think
do
you
that.
should watch it before your viewing of Shang-Chi, like 30 minutes
This
before.
oh,
Let's
like
say
the day of.
yeah, the day of. I would say about an hour before. I don't know how long it is.
I think Wednesday night sounds perfect.
Okay, all right. As long as you remember it.
And then Thursday, I vibe. I go to work.
Yeah.
I get my little sparkling water, my protein bar from the gas station. I chew a little edible, and then I walk to the theater.
What kind of protein bar?
Think bars.
Okay, all right. Those are good.
Yeah, I like
I
them.
respect those.
I
Okay.
like them. I like them.
Okay.
Nice. I'm excited.
yeah.
I hope your theory's right. That sounds kind of cool.
I mean, that's the only way I see Ben Kingsley being back into the MCU. You know,
yeah.
it just makes
Let's
sense.
not keep Trevor.
Yeah. I mean, let's keep Trevor, but like, yeah, I guess we can't really keep Trevor. So yeah, let's get rid of Trevor. No offense, Ben Kingsley. You're a great
Sorry.
actor. Um, I have here. It's been 1 year since the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and I am not. I don't like the way that this sentence makes me feel.
What do you mean?
No, in the sense of like it sucks that he's gone, and I wish,
Yeah.
I wish he was still alive.
7 movies fighting colon cancer. I forget, like, they threw that number out there again. It's like, wow. I forget how strong this man was.
Yeah,
Absolutely
and
insane.
nobody knew. Nobody knew.
And nobody knew. Nobody knew.
Insane.
Yeah. So I had to
Absolutely.
throw that in
Insane.
there.
Yeah. Rest in peace, King. I don't know how to transition to this. 2022's The Marvels director, Nia DaCosta, becomes the first black female director with a number one film in the box office with Candyman. Are we
Yeah.
excited for The Marvels? Is this the
Yeah, so that's gonna be right. Captain Marvel, Miss
Miss
Marvel,
Marvel?
and then somebody else. Or is that just those two?
No, those two and the girl
And
from WandaVision.
yes,
Yeah.
who was also in Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Starts with an R. Her name starts with an R.
Ooh, I don't remember. It's been a while.
She got those powers at the end of WandaVision. Remember that?
She was the first X-Men, I guess.
Her outfit did look very X-Men like.
Yeah. It just makes the most sense.
I am, but also that's sorry to answer your question. I am excited for the Marvels.
Okay. All right.
Like shout out
Monica
to Nia
Rambeau.
DaCosta.
Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was right with an R.
Starts with an R. Yeah. Close enough.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what she brings to the table. Like, my problem with Captain Marvel is Brie Larson. Like, don't get me wrong, she's a talented actress and all that stuff. I'm agreeing with all of that. I just found her to be very monotone in Captain Marvel, which I guess is to be expected, but like, there's got to be some range in that character.
No, you can blame the script and the direction for that. Like
No,
that's obviously
again,
what
I'm
they
not
wanted.
blaming her. Yeah, exactly. This is not a blame on her. It's just
Oh, gotcha.
I'm hoping that changes throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Russos used her very cool in Endgame. Like, I loved her in Endgame.
Yeah, and that was actually before the movie. They filmed that before the movie.
Yeah.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Of course, if you didn't know, the Spider-Man trailer dropped last week. You can check our full reactions for the trailer. Ugh. You can check our reactions for full impressions. But what are your quick thoughts on the trailer, Christian?
I thought it was fine the first time I watched it. I was like, cool. Like I guess this is
Fine
what we
is what
already
you thought?
yeah. This is like what we already knew was going to be in the movie, right? Like we knew Alfred Molina was coming back. Oh, big surprise! He's in the trailer.
I think it's more along the lines of how much hype a movie can get, Like, this is probably, like, Avengers Endgame was big, Like, the same way...
This is not bigger than Endgame.
What? Hold on. The same way that Avengers was big. This is, for a one character, I would say this is the biggest that they can go for Spider-Man by himself. This is like if the DCEU's Flashpoint was going to be a good movie,
I would say this is bigger. Like I think it's insane that in theory we're gonna get 3 different Spider-Men across
Fucking
like
crazy.
different franchises like that like we grew up with.
Yeah.
That on its own, like when I think about that is insane. Like, and credit to Sony and Marvel for pulling something like this off because it's gonna be sweet. And like, if there's more Spider-Man, like I was talking to Richie, and he's like, "What if Spider-Gwen is in it? What if this is the way they introduce Miles?" Like, those possibilities are gonna be insane to think about and see what they end up doing during the movie.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yes, I completely agree. I think that would be too much. I think if you show off a little cameo here or there of Spider-Gwen, like we see her in the background with the suit and everything, that'd be cool. I think if Miles, I was trying to figure out like who would play Miles, and the first person that came to my mind was, like an older Miles was, freaking Danny Glover. But they already used Danny Glover, Donald Glover. Sorry.
Who else? Danny Glover? He's old as fuck.
Okay, all right.
Donald.
Yes,
Donald
Donald Glover.
Glover.
Sorry. Donald Glover would have been great. Listen, man, I'm a big fan of Lethal Weapon.
Dude, Donald Glover is also like in his 40s.
Yeah, but like he doesn't look like it. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's gonna be a young Miles. I feel like this is what Tom Holland needs. He needs older people playing Spider-Man to give him direction in his life, I guess. That makes
When I
sense?
think Miles, I don't think an older person who's giving others guidance, let alone a
Fair enough.
Spider-Man.
Fair
I'm
enough.
sorry.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I'm
But also,
with you.
like, we've got possibly the Sinister Six in it. Insane.
Oh God.
By the way, I've been reading your theories for
Yeah.
a little something
I
that Ruben's
mean,
working on,
let's
and
just break
it
it
was very
down
exciting to
here.
read about. It was so exciting think about.
Did it excite you more than the trailer did?
Yeah, absolutely. Now
Wow.
you'll find out. You'll find out in 2 weeks when Richie's episode drops.
Okay.
But we talked about you and just Spider-Man theories in general, and yeah, your thinking about the Spider-Man trailer did get me more excited because it started getting me thinking about all these possibilities that we might get in the movie. So yes,
All I gotta say is, John Watts. I know you're working on Fantastic Four. I was gonna say Final Fantasy Four. I know you're working on Fantastic Four. And listen, man, I got some thoughts. Okay, I you got my number. Okay, you got my number. That's all I got to say. I could be your assistant. I have no problem fetching coffee. I got no problem rewriting scripts. You know, I'm not saying this is an assistant's job, but like I could read your script and be like, nah, that doesn't look good. You know,
who is that kid's name from Stranger Things? Caleb?
which one? That one that's also in Ghostbusters?
Look up Caleb McLaughlin.
Oh, yes,
I wonder if
yes.
he'd make a great Miles.
I think so. Oh my god, you just got me really excited.
Just thinking about things.
Yeah,
A little Nas X.
I don't know about that. Let's not get too crazy here.
Anyway,
Anyway, we'll see.
we'll see.
Until then, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. The premiere date was August 1st, 2014, which was 6 months after Winter Soldier. And it's crazy to think that they were able to pull this movie off with a budget of 232.3 million dollars and a box office of $772.8 million. Safe to say this movie was pretty successful, you know?
Dude, I know we give credit to the Avengers for making, like, for Marvel bringing B tier, I guess, heroes into the forefront of pop culture.
If this isn't
Eh,
fucking S tier in the sense of like so far down the line,
what do you mean?
meaning like this is not the people I would have expected them to bring into the cinematic universe first.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then doing the same thing again with the like sorry, not the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Insane to think about. Like nobody knew who these freaking people were.
Yeah,
A
that's what I'm
Rocket.
saying. Like,
I like knew of Rocket Raccoon from like Marvel versus Capcom, and that's it.
yeah, that's what I meant. I meant like these are coming out of the fucking woodwork,
Hmm.
bringing in these characters. Would insane, absolutely insane. Um, what are your thoughts on this movie? Initial thoughts.
Yeah, I remember when I watched this in the theater the first time, I was like, dude, this movie's like fantastic. It nails the tone, the vibe. Like it's a great movie. Then I watch it again in the theaters like a week later with my friends, and I was like, wow, this does not hold up at all. I actually don't know if I like this movie as much as I thought I did. And I rewatched it, what, I guess 2, 3 days ago, and I
Yeah.
was like, damn, was I wrong again? This movie actually might be one of like my favorite MCU films. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch, but like I'd possibly consider it for top 10.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I
So,
used to be in the camp where I think Guardians 2 is better than 1. I'm not sure anymore.
wow. Okay. All right. For me, I watched this movie. I don't even think I watched this movie in theaters. I watched it some random day on my phone, and I was like, "Well, who gives a shit? Like, what does this have to do with Thanos?" Little did I know, I didn't know anything about the Guardians, like at all. Like, people were telling me Thanos pops up in this movie, and I was just like, "Yeah, but like, why?" And then it's to find out that Gamora's his daughter, in quotes. Um, and I thought it was okay. Like the you have this here, like the soundtrack of this movie
Mm.
hits me harder than the movie does. Like I don't think that this is the best movie that
Okay.
I would say like out of the single heroes movie like Iron Man or Captain America or Thor. I don't think this is one of the best ones, but it's definitely on a list of
This
MCU
is probably
movies.
better than Iron Man 1,
Yeah,
for being
yeah,
real.
yeah. This is a better intro movie.
So I like your comment about the music. So I actually want to think about that for a moment
Yep,
because you make a good point.
go for it.
You're right. Like thinking about the soundtrack by itself, those are like unequivocally all banger songs on their own, right? And I can listen to that music on its own and be like, yes, this music fucks, like because they're good songs, right?
Yeah,
So you're right. But if you have to think about it in terms of the movie, the way that movie utilizes tracks to set tones,
yeah,
and throughout specific scenes, works so well to create an identity for not just Peter, but the like whole characters of Guardians of the Galaxy that none of the other movies do. Because up until I would say even probably Civil War or Infinity War, no movie in the MCU has a good soundtrack or score. Even this one, like the score is like you, it's not memorable at all. It just Marvel movies don't have good music. But the way this movie uses soundtracks to elevate itself, I think it elevates the movie for me.
wait. So you're saying up until this movie, the score
Hmm.
isn't memorable, like for any of
Yes.
them, up until this movie?
No Marvel movies have good scores.
No, you're crazy.
Very little.
Ant-Man?
I don't even remember what's the score for Ant-Man.
Oh, Tales of Astonish? Come on, get your ass out of the fucking gutter, okay? I don't know what that line was.
Tales of Astonish?
Yeah. Fucking Christoph Beck? Get your head out of your ass, all right?
What are we talking about here?
The song, A Tales of Astonish. Sorry, A Tale of Astonish.
I'm looking this up. Ant-Man.
Christoph Beck.
This man's listening to.
No, yeah, I had it right. Tales to Astonish.
Tales
Sorry.
to Astonish.
My apologies. My apologies.
Okay, then I'll rephrase and say there are a few exceptions,
Okay.
right? Other than a few exceptions like Tales to Astonish, some of the work on Thor Ragnarok. Of course, we eventually get finally an Avengers theme. No scores are really memorable. Like when it's a
Yeah.
quirky setting, they play quirky music. When it's a fight, they play actiony fight scene that's just like there for background noise. But a lot of this time in Guardians of the Galaxy, they prefer to use soundtrack as opposed to score to kind of set the tone,
Yeah,
and I think that works for them.
I agree. I definitely agree. I would be lying if I said I wasn't crying a little when he heard Ain't No Mountain High Enough at the end of this.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Which always makes you think about Remember the Titans.
never saw it. Never saw it. It's
I
about
wish Eric
football,
was
right?
here. I
It's
wish
about
Eric was here so
it's
bad.
about football, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's about football,
Yeah, that's why I never saw
American
it.
football.
That's why I never saw it.
It's more than football. It's about race. Come on.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't know. You know,
Yeah, sure.
it's a football movie. You know, about race. Is that safe to say?
Keep going, keep going.
This is the first big outing for James Gunn, having only directed one other feature-length film, Super, starring Rainn Wilson. And this put James Gunn on the map for a lot of stuff.
It really did.
It really
Yeah.
did. Like he managed to pull off a casting where I have it down lower, but like this casting is so random, but like it all works. Am I wrong? You have Bradley Cooper as Rocket that
I
raccoon,
knew I knew
and
that's gonna be the first thing you bring up.
so help me God, if Rocket the raccoon crying, like Rocket is my favorite Guardian. I don't really care about what happens to anybody else. You
What
kill
do
off,
you mean?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Like this fucking raccoon just takes some guy's leg for no fucking reason, just because he thought it was funny. And then like you feel bad for him because like at the end he's like, I wasn't asked to be fucking experimented on, but here the fuck I am. Like, come on. If anybody has a fucking character arc, it's Rocket the Raccoon in this movie.
No, I empathize with Rocket when you first see him in the prison
Yeah.
and he's walking and you see all the shit in like in the back of the spine and Peter's looking at him.
Yep.
And like that's I think when for me when I thought about him as more than just like a character who's like a comedic what is it called?
Relief.
Thank you. I couldn't remember comic relief. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. You have the 1988 opening scene with Peter getting abducted. And like you said here, tone setter with the music. Really great fucking music in this movie.
I'm gonna say it,
Go for it.
and I know I'm probably hyperbolizing a little bit, but this is how I felt when I watched that scene. This is still probably one of the most emotional scenes of the MCU, and up until this point of the movies we watched, this is probably the best we've gotten. It's hard for me to think about another emotional scene in any of the other movies as high as this one scene, and this is for a character I don't even know.
Yeah, I have to agree. You're absolutely right about that. Like, just seeing him, like, not even seeing him not giving his mother his
Hmm.
hand while she's on her literal deathbed, like, and then she dies right after. Oh my god, fucking torture, man.
Devastating. And then for me, what really sets it apart is when he runs out and he's getting abducted. Right before we get like this the transition to like the Marvel credits, like the flipping of the comic book stuff,
Mm-hmm.
he yells "Mom," and she's already dead, and he still yells "Mom,"
Yeah,
and like that gives me chills every time. I'm getting chills right now.
yeah. I gotta agree. It's really fucking heavy hitting stuff.
Also, there's there's a lot of stuff that I missed in this movie that like it's hitting me like how much setup they do for
Mm-hmm.
both Guardians 2 and for like the rest of the MCU. Like all
Yeah.
not just all the Thanos stuff, but like all the ego stuff is in here as well that I just didn't
Yep.
even register because I had no idea who these characters were.
Exactly. I have to 100% agree. Oh my god, when they keep mentioning, they mention egos. Well, like dealings with ego like twice in this movie, and I'm like, holy fuck, why didn't I pick up on that the first time watching this?
I counted 4 times.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Once when his mom says that his dad is a being of light.
Yeah, I was more talking about Yandu.
Oh yeah,
Or
twice with the Ravagers, yeah,
yeah,
they say it,
yeah,
and then once with the the Zendarian people, the
yeah,
Nova Corps.
yeah, and also like Marvel, what the fuck? I'm waiting for my
What?
Nova movie to finally happen. So like, just let it happen. All right, Nova.
You know what? I was prepared to say like, who wants a Nova movie? But then like, who wanted a Guardians movie? And here we are. So
I just feel like Nova would be such a great fucking character to introduce into the MCU. Like it's the next. How do I put this without saying this incorrectly? It's the next Miss Marvel. Sorry, Captain Marvel, in the sense that like he's an intergalactic warrior that is doing justice. I guess.
sure, I want me to post it. Why not?
Yeah,
Why friggin' not?
would be great. Would be great. And of course, we have the title sequence of Peter dancing, which Endgame made this scene so much funnier. Like, don't get me wrong.
You think so?
No, I think this is great, but then I forget who says it. I think it was Don Cheadle, and he's like, This is the idiot that we have, like, getting this Infinity Stone, the thing that is, I'm super paraphrasing here, but like an Infinity Stone is gonna be guarded by the guy dancing to music. Like, this is supposed to be a serious ass mission, and he's just having a good time.
He didn't know it was an Infinity Stone.
Right. But it's just like seeing this scene in Endgame is like, this fucking guy. You know? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
I don't like thinking about Peter getting hit and then waking up and realizing that the ball is gone for
Right.
whatever reason. Like, that just bothers me because it's like not canon in the MCU. I don't know.
Well,
It's hard
it's a
for me to
different
piece
timeline.
together.
It's fine. It's back.
Yeah,
You know.
that's true. That's true. That's very true.
I put here, let's not forget that Peter Quill has some good taste, you know. His ship, the Milano, is named after his childhood crush, Alyssa Milano, and Peter Quill. You get some good fucking taste, because that was
Does
my
he?
childhood
He
crush.
says that in the movie.
No,
forget
I
if
looked
he
it
does
up
or not.
because I was like, there's no way that that's not the case.
And is it true?
It is true, yes.
See, when I think Milano, I immediately go to Milano cookies, not
course you do.
Alyssa Milano.
You
Why? What do you
simpleton.
mean? What does that? What does that mean?
You simpleton.
First of all, Milano cookies are like
Grade
upper
A tier,
echelon
yes,
cookies. Like,
they
it's
are.
rich people food.
But like Alyssa Milano, like,
Yeah, but no, I get you. Yeah,
Okay.
Alyssa Milano.
okay,
Sure.
all right. We got here Ronan's introduction as he comes out of the bath and speaks to Thanos, which I'm not gonna lie, like, the whole Ronan character in this movie is weird to me. In
How
in the sense, like, I don't see how he fits completely. Like, I get how he fits, but I just feel like there could have been a completely different antagonist in this movie.
I mean, I guess it really could be anybody. Me not knowing like enough about like the Guardians villains,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you who would be a better pick. But I don't mind Ronan. I know this is probably like a hot take, but and yeah, I'll agree that he is one dimensional. Like, there's not much depth to Ronan other than just like, I
He-
want to commit genocide and be bad and just rule.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like
but
you
I
could.
think he's scary and like I think he's good enough.
Yeah, but I just feel like you could have subbed in one of the what is it, the Black Order guards? Like, literally anybody.
No, because then who would they beat? You know, like the Maw and stuff in Infinity War is like legit scary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if you had put one of those characters in this, like, I'm not saying any of those, but like, if there was an extra secondary character, like the guy that fucking Ronan kills in this movie,
Yeah.
the announcer, I guess, that could have happened.
What are you trying to say here?
I'm saying, like, you could have put in one of the Black Order's goons in this movie, and then he tries to kill Gamora, and then Thanos is like, no, and then just kills him. You know what I'm saying? Am I way off on this?
I don't know if I agree with you. I think that would be make for me a less interesting film. I like
Okay.
the idea that Ronan betrays Thanos once he realizes it's an Infinity Stone inside the thing. That to me just makes.
Well, I mean, you
makes more
still could
interesting.
have had that storyline. Like, he finds the Infinity Stone and he wants it for himself, and then he just decides to kill Gamora to, I guess, get the last laugh for against Thanos. But okay, I guess.
But the Black Order is like
The Black Order.
they like work for Thanos. They worship Thanos.
Yes, but if Thanos was,
They're literally children of Thanos. So I don't see them betraying him at all.
oh, why not? Gamora did.
But she's not a children of Thanos. Like,
mean,
she didn't choose to be
Yeah.
a
Okay.
follower of Thanos.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Um. we'll talk about. Oh, I guess. Do you want to go into
Oh, we can
Ronan?
talk about
Okay.
we can talk about Ronan a little later once we
Okay.
start ranking them and stuff.
All right. A majority of the Guardians meeting on Xandar slash meeting and also fighting each other on Xandar is pretty funny. Like that whole um, flirty scene between him and Gamora in the beginning, where she's like, "Oh,
Oh, where he's trying to pick
yeah,
up pick her up, I guess.
yeah," and she's just like not here for it. Just give her the stone. We also have our Stan Lee cameo here, which we'll save for later. But man, oh man, Bradley Cooper as fucking Rocket the Raccoon. You know, if that isn't the greatest pick of all time, would you have assumed Bradley Cooper would have done a great job as Rocket the Raccoon?
Yeah, I was excited for this because I like Bradley Cooper. I
I
think he's a
love
good actor.
Bradley Cooper. Like everything I've seen him in is just perfect. But
For me, I think it's a Vin Diesel as well. It's like does really well.
yeah, it was also weird to find out that that was Vin Diesel. I didn't find that out until later, and I was just like, oh, that's weird.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Shout out to him because I don't know if you know this or not. Um, he did all the dubbing for all the languages of this. So he would like he studied how to say I am
Wow,
Groot
I
and
did not.
stuff for the languages, and he did all the voice acting for Groot. Like he was taking it seriously. So I thought that was cool.
That is pretty cool. That's pretty fucking awesome. I did not know that at all.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay. Cool. And then we have the prison sequence where as we said before, we see Rocket's spine. We see Peter looking at Rocket's spine and seeing all this shit happen to him. Uh, Peter's cassette player, and man, oh man, those abs.
Yeah,
Jesus.
still some hot abs.
I mean, we see him in Parks and Rec just getting ready for it, and I was like, "There's no way this fucking guy's making it."
Yeah, it comes. What I'm trying to say here. That season airs after Guardians comes out,
Yeah,
but I love the way Parks is like, "Oh, how'd you get so fit?" And he's just like, "I just I stopped drinking beer."
yeah. And also,
Man,
if I recall correctly, the whole thing is he wanted to become a cop, right?
that I don't remember. That
Okay,
I that sounds true.
okay. We also get our introduction to Drax in the prison sequence and breaking out of prison. If this isn't the best scene of this movie, I don't know what is.
No, no,
No.
I disagree there. We'll get there,
Okay.
but I yeah, I love Drax.
Yeah.
One of my reasons why I loved it so much the first time is that I love that everything Drax does is like he doesn't pick up on metaphors. Like that just sets up like so many funny jokes. Or I guess,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I have to agree.
when he misses things.
Yeah. We also have the nowhere mining colony, and oh, if I didn't get chills watching the clip in the um, collector's place of seeing a celestial, oh man, got real excited there. Real
Oh,
excited.
the one that like slams the
Yeah.
power stone
Yep.
and like obliterates the world. That's cool.
Yeah. Very cool. We
That
got
whole sorry, real quick. That whole when he's explaining the Infinity Stones, I think is just awesome. I know
yeah.
they and like Gamora explains them again in Infinity War for like audiences in case they didn't pick up on it in Guardians. But like this scene is just so like visually so impressive. I mean, the whole movie is visually impressive. Like this part was so cool.
Would you have preferred it as a voiceover for the beginning of the movie? Like that whole scene of him explaining it is
No,
like a sequence in the beginning? No?
no, I like the surprise because we don't know what's in that ball until halfway through the movie. I think that really works.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. We got some David Bowie. We got some Groot giving the young girl a flower. Like I always thought at the end of that sequence, like as soon as they walk by, like she just took that flower and like crushed it. Because Peter's like, protect your wallets, protect your wallets. Like what is she doing with this flower? You know?
Why do you do this to me?
I don't know. It's just like I see the cynicism in people, I guess.
That's hilarious because I think that for me this is like the exact opposite of what you see.
Yeah.
Because like these characters are bad people who have the propensity to do good. And the way that movie introduces that is by having Groot be the first one to showcase that by growing a flower out of himself. And like the movie stops to show him like caring
Give
for
this
someone else for
flower.
a
Yeah,
moment and giving it. And like I think that's very sweet and like kind of sets up who these characters eventually end up being.
yeah. Damn, that's a way better answer than what I gave. Fuck. Okay. All right. That was
It's
good.
this is funny you reading my notes because I know exactly where I wanted to go with it, and
Uh,
now I don't know where to.
we also get the crew getting drunk and betting, and this was great at first, where we see. Well, I mean, this scene in and of itself is pretty great because we also see Peter and Gamora having a moment on the balcony, and like he goes in for the kiss, and she's just like, "No, I know who you are. Like I've heard your reputation
Mhm.
of with women," and it's just funny because he never gets to kiss her ever again.
Yeah, this is like the only movie where Peter Quill's a womanizer. After that, everyone he's like kind of the butt of the joke after this.
Yeah, the real butt of the joke, and I
Yeah,
love it. I love it.
yeah, for real.
Yeah. Then we get the collector scene where we obviously get the explanation of the Infinity Stones, and if I forget who is just like not here for it, like just give us the credits. I want to say that it was Rocket, but I don't remember.
Um, I think yeah, I think they say that, and then I forget her name, like kills
Yeah,
herself.
yeah. Oh
And
God, which was so weird. I that made sense, but like it makes even more sense after seeing the What If episode. For me
wait,
personally,
what makes sense?
like her grabbing the Infinity Stone and like saying like I will not be your slave anymore, which at first I didn't pick up on. Like she was just, I just assumed that she was his assistant, and like she was.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean I know now. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
How would you think that?
No, because like if she was his slave, like this guy collects things. If that
Yeah,
was the case, why wasn't she in a collection box?
the last assistant to fail him was. They show that in the movie. Like,
Yeah, yeah, they
don't.
do. But I just figured like, oh, this is nothing special. Like he has, we've seen. I don't remember what race of alien she is. Like we see
Mhm.
a couple of them throughout the movie. I just assumed like she was just some
Call,
regular Joe Schmo.
calling her an assistant is a nice way of saying is a nice way for the collector to say slave. Yeah,
Right, right, right. I just
yeah.
didn't put.
It's forced work. You can
Yeah,
tell.
yeah. Then Drax does something stupid and calls Ronan to nowhere, and then we
It's
have.
his ass kicked, dude.
Oh man, like you wouldn't believe. And we also have that great scene where Peter saves Gamora, and then he gives her that speech, and she sees. At first, she's believing it, and then she just sees through it, where he's just like, "I don't know what came over me. I guess being a hero is what." Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was really good too. I like that. And then we see the Ravager ship come to the Guardians' aid, and Peter has this plan of what they're going to do to help out the Xandarians on Nova. And it was a pretty cool. I love this whole scene of the
Hmm.
Xandarians fighting with the Ravagers. I like
Yeah.
that whole force field that they do. No, blockade. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
It's cool, right?
Yeah, fucking awesome.
I actually wanted. I'm glad you brought it up because there's a specific scene that dude. Should I just bring it up now? Maybe I will.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
That scene, I don't know why hits really hard with me. I can't really explain it, but I'll do my best. Um, so Peter calls in, right? He calls into the Nova Corps and he's like, "What does he say? I'm an a-hole, but I'm not 100% a
A
dick."
dick, yeah.
Right. So we can already tell that these Guardians have started to change in some way, that they're becoming these heroic figures, right? And so Peter kind of convinces everyone to be the best that they can be, right? They all end up being heroes. And they get there And Saul, one of the Nova Corps guys, is very skeptical. He doesn't think highly of these people, obviously, because they've committed crimes before. So he doesn't like Star-Lord altogether. So naturally, he's not going to like the other characters as well.
Yeah.
So they have to prove themselves to be trustworthy figures. And so when they do this blockade and Ronan is crashing through them and he's killing the people that are doing the blockade, he's about to crush Saul. This guy who only met Rocket once for probably only a few sentences has already learned to trust him and respect him. And what is the last thing he says before he dies? He cries out to Rocket. It's his last words is Rocket. And Rocket responds saying, "Hold on, Saul," and then boom, it blows up. And just the two's relationship that they formed, like kind of off screen,
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It's powerful for whatever reason. Just thinking about it, I have no idea why. It just sticks with me.
Okay. Fair
When I
enough.
drove home after the movie, and I thought about this scene. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Anyway,
Then we have Groot's sacrifice because the ship is going down and there's no way they could stop it. And Groot makes this essentially cocoon of wood, and he has to sacrifice himself in order to save the team. And Rocket's like, "No, don't do this. Please don't do this." And then he dies. And
we are Groot.
yes, we are Groot. Oh God, that was another good scene in this movie. Fuck.
Yeah,
Forgot.
dude. There's a lot of good scenes in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, there is. Um, and then we get the scene between uh, Ronan touches down on Xandar, and Peter starts off the dance off. But before that, we get the line, "What are you, some sort of Guardians of the Galaxy?"
That he does not say that.
No, he doesn't say it. But it would have been great. It would have been great. It would have been great. No, he just talks about like how the Guardians of the Galaxy are no match for him, something along those lines. And go ahead.
Which is cool, right? Like, I don't know. I like the idea that they get named by their
By
first
him.
villain.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
it's
Oh,
pretty cool.
really, really good. I'm really glad that it wasn't them making up the name, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we get
What are
the
we? What are you? Some sort of guardian? So I'm just thinking about it.
Oh man, great. And then the dance off starts, and you have pulled this line. I need some context for it. Like I know it's
You
in, I remember it, but I don't
Yeah.
remember what, like what was said to get this.
Yeah, so Peter starts the dance off, and Ronan eventually is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Distracting you." To which Rocket shoots the uh, rocket that he makes
Yeah,
right at Ronan's like hammer with the Power Stone. Breaks the hammer, then slow mo. Peter reaches out for the Power Stone, grabs it. We get the cool visualization that like we got the foreshadowing earlier of the people who tried to hold the Power Stone together.
yeah,
They do it again, but the Guardians succeed. Um, and then Ronan realizes that they're like able to hold it when they're all together, and he's like, "How? You're mortal. How are you doing this?" And Peter goes, "You said it yourself, bitch. We're the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy." Like that's I don't know, that's cool.
that was a really good.
It's a reaffirmation of their heroic, but it's still very much quintessentially Peter by being funny about it.
Yeah. And you have here many shots are very stylized. Does this work for you? And I'm not really sure. I think this there's a lot of people that do too much of this. This definitely worked for me in the sense of I'm assuming you're talking about the slow mo, or are you talking about like the whole uh, of them like holding each other's hands and like using the power stone?
I can give you a few examples because
Okay.
yeah, because I meant this as like a separate discussion, not just like as a notes. This is something I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so the first time I think we see it, and this is to your credit, it is slow mo. There's like it's when Peter is escaping from the first time. He's like, "Oh, I'm Star Lord."
Hmm.
Who? And he's like jumping onto Milano, and it cuts to like Peter, who like just put on his helmet, and he's jumping onto a ship, and it kind of does the dolly zoom where like the camera is going backwards, but it's zooming in, and you get that weird effect,
Hmm.
and he's like jumping, and it's just like that's like cool like introduction. It looks very comic booky, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, there's stuff like Rocket on Xandar when he busts out his gun, and they do the same dolly zoom as every time the gun like becomes longer, they do like a quick dolly zoom.
Hmm.
That looks really cool. Tons of shots, specifically with Nowhere. There's the shot of when Peter saves Gamora, and he's
Yeah.
just floating there. They're both floating, and the Ravagers are like shining this light on them. That looks really cool.
And also, when Groot and Rocket are running out of the collector's den, I guess, and they're both screaming, "No!" Like I obviously trying to run away from
Hmm.
the explosion, yeah, and jumping from it.
Yeah. Speaking of, you reminded me of another scene where Rocket is screaming when he realizes also that the ship. Peter tells him that the ships are indestructible, essentially, like they're heavy duty.
Yeah.
And he starts screaming, and he runs through an enemy ship, and then it cuts to the other side of that ship, and it's Rocket ship coming towards the camera, and he's still screaming from
Hmm.
when he started. That was cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by style. Like it knows that like it leans into like the weird colors and sort of like the weird camera movements to make it feel like a different film separate from like the Earth films,
Yeah.
which I think works establish it as a separate thing but still part of the MCU.
Correct. Correct. Um. Damn.
What's up?
No, it's just like I'm thinking about all those scenes, and it's just like, yeah, that was really, really, really well done. This movie, I was talking shit to Eric last night, and I was telling him like, well, you guys fucked me over with Thor: The Dark World, putting it above uh, the Incredible Hulk in our
Mhm.
rankings list, and I was a little pissed off about that because we're not going to get into that. But I was teasing Eric and I was telling him, like, we'll see where this movie fucking ends up in the ranking list.
Remember
And
this.
I can't do it, Christian. I can't do it.
Did you want to put it underneath Thor: The Dark World?
I
Is that what you wanted
wanted
to
it
do?
so bad. I wanted it so bad. But, like, this is a
Dude,
really good fucking movie.
it's it's not overly long. It's tight. Like if you think about it, and I broke it down to scenes here in the notes. Like
Yeah.
it's just like the Xandar, the prison, and then back to Xandar. That's essentially like the plot of the movie. It's very just like here, here, here,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that happens in between like reaffirms who the Guardians end up being. I think it's a very strong movie, tightly paced. The script is like strong. It's really good. I
Yeah.
I I want to apologize to everyone who I said like Guardians one. The only thing that falls flat for me is the jokes don't hold up as well after like subsequent viewings. Like I don't think they're that funny. I'm sorry. And that's just I think James Gunn in general.
Okay.
Yeah, some hits land, some hits don't, and that's okay. The movie's still very good. It does what I think it sets out to do.
Okay. Fair enough. We touched on this a bit before, but the soundtrack of the movie, not the score, is probably the best in the MCU. Uh, yeah,
So far.
so far, yeah. Case in point, like I said before, you have the "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" with Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Like, oh, God, fucking breaking me down. And at the end, the end credit scene, I think, was Groot dancing to "I Want You Back" by the Jackson Five,
Hmm.
which is just like gave us all like we all could finally breathe once we realized like, oh, okay, good,
It
Groot
was
is back.
alive.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it turns out it's not the case. Groot is that's his kid,
Yep.
which is weird, but
It's
also
strange.
very strange. Some might
I mean,
say
it makes sense though. That's how trees
Doctor
work, right?
Strange.
Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah, I guess, but like it would have made more sense if there was a seed, like not a
And not
twig.
like a twig. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, like you have here, the theme of this movie is like family and how people find family, and I, yeah, this movie does this like really fucking well. Like, oh God, fuck, I'm thinking about it now, and it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll run it through. I want to run it through because I
go
wrote this
ahead,
in for a reason.
go
Like,
ahead.
obviously, Peter is the heart of it, of the family unit, right? Because we obviously see that he was abducted from his family. He wasn't taken to his actual family. And the whole conceit is that sometimes, you know, your dad or you will learn that in Guardians too. But like, blood isn't always your family, right?
Yeah.
Rocket and Groot, they're obviously not family members, but like them finding each other, um, and then just reinforcing all their bad habits, just being with each other, and then having Peter come in and eventually fix that for them to have like their own friendship works. Drax, who was like this loner who was pent up on revenge, which is obviously not the right answer for how you move on from your life. Finding his other family members and realizing that sometimes revenge can be just moving on, right? And acceptance
Hmm.
works. And Gamora, who like was pretty much alone all her life, even with her sister and her dad, right?
Yeah.
Escaping, and it was going to be and it was going to end up alone, and then finding the family unit, them all like coming together, just very cool. James Gunn, very cool.
Yeah. Very cool. Good job, James Gunn. I'm proud of you. I had put this in like there's a weird obsession with Howard the Duck in these two movies. Like,
Hmm.
I feel like if you're going to introduce Howard the Duck in a end credit scene, that was actually the end credit scene. This was just like the Groot dancing was just the credits. If you're going to introduce an end credit scene character, have him in other movies. You know, like Howard the Duck being introduced in this end credit scene was super weird. Nobody expected it. Nobody. I don't think anybody really wanted Howard the Duck to pop up in this movie. I've never seen the original Howard the Duck movie.
Okay, well then you there you go. This is why you find this so weird.
I agree, yes, but like I'm assuming you've watched the original Howard the Duck movie.
Yeah, I don't remember all of it, but I've definitely seen it on TV
Did you expect him
growing up.
to pop up at the end of this movie?
No, and I mean I don't expect anyone to pop up at any point really, but I thought it was perfect.
Do you expect him to pop up in any future Marvel movie?
No, and
You
which is
just
why
want
I
him.
think
You just want him as a NPC, so to speak.
yeah, I think that was
Okay.
funny having him obviously a character who we're not gonna get an actual MCU movie of,
Yeah.
because he's not really like a hero really. Having him show up as a person who like the collector has in his collection, and just acknowledging that other IPs exist within Marvel Comics, I think is just a very fun nod to the history and homage of Marvel. In just this one, it's just this one scene. Like I don't need any more Power of the Duck. This is enough. It was funny. It
Okay.
was cool.
All right. Fair enough. And now it's time to rank the Marvel movies so far. Christian.
No, no, no. We do that last.
Oh, so why is it first? I guess it's time to rank the Stan Lee cameos. Which in this movie it was Rocket looking into what was it, his binoculars or something, like looking
Yeah.
far away, and pointing out that Stan Lee was an old man hitting on a younger lady on Nova, and he called him a prevert, if I
Hmm.
recall correctly, which was weird. Um, where do we want to put this? Sorry, let me go through the rankings. We have at number 9, Iron Man 2 as Larry King. At number 8, The Incredible Hulk as the old man dying from radiation poisoning, we assume. At number 7, we have Thor the Dark World, Can I Get My Shoe Back at the Mental Hospital. For number 6, we have Iron Man 3 as the beauty pageant judge on TV. For number 4, we have Captain America the First Avenger. Every fucking time. The White House Medal of Honor commentator who says I thought he'd be taller. Then we have number 3, Captain America the Winter Soldier, where he is the Smithsonian security guard who is going to lose his job because Cap stole his uniform. Then we have number 2, Avengers, Superheroes in New York. Give me a break. As the old man playing chess in the park in the news segment. And finally, number 1, Thor, as the pickup truck guy trying to lift the hammer, looking back, asking, did I get it?
The best one, obviously the best one.
I don't know. That fucking White House Medal of Honor guy still gets me. Where would you want to put this?
I personally would put this as the new number 9 over Iron Man 2 Larry King, because I don't think Stanley really does anything. It's funny that he's like flirting, I guess, with a younger woman. But if I'm being honest, I think the strength of this cameo is all Bradley Cooper, not Stanley at all. It's
Yeah.
just Bradley Cooper talking about Stanley.
Fuck. Okay. All right.
What?
I was originally gonna go with this is the new number 10, just because like it's just him talking to a lady. But yeah, Bradley Cooper's voiceover just does bump it up just enough
Just a
to
little bit.
yeah to beat out Larry King. Okay. All right. So let me put this in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice. Perverted old man.
The preverted old man. I don't know what the difference is between preverted and perverted.
It's just Rocket misspeaking.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's not from Terra.
With Rocket's voiceover.
Why do you get so specific?
Because I have to remember it. I have to be specific. I have to remember it. That's the only way that I'm going to
Nice.
remember it.
Very cool.
Okay.
Do you want to do
Next.
the villains while Eric is gone?
Sure. Yeah, let's do this. We are going to rank the villains next with...
Oh, you gotta say what Eric says.
What did you say? You do this then. I don't know what Eric says.
Wait, hold on. Now I can't remember what he says. He's like, what are good heroes without bad villains? Is that right? Something like that?
Maybe. Yeah, what are good
Every good
heroes?
hero needs a villain or something like that.
Sure,
Shit.
something about a hero and a villain. With number 10, we have Malekith slash Curse from Thor: The Dark World. With number 9, we have Abomination slash Thunderbolt Ross in The Incredible Hulk. With number 8, we have Whiplash slash Justin Hammer, which I think is way too high on this list. In Iron Man 2. For number 7, we have Aldrich Killian. For Iron Man 3. For number 6, we have Obadiah Stane. Donate. I know Eric says that, you know.
Oh, he does say that, doesn't he?
He does say that every time. And I'm okay with it. Like, it's great. We have Obadiah Stane from Iron Man 1. For number 5, we have Red Skull from Captain America: The First Avenger. From number 4, we have Taskmaster slash Dreykov, which is way too high on this list. In Black
You
Widow.
You helped us rank these. You can't say this.
I can say this. I'm taking
We
over
have
for
to
Eric.
accept the list for what it is. while we podcast.
I'm taking over for Eric. I got this, you know. I'm just going to rearrange this and we'll see what happens from there. Let's see if you guys notice. For number 3, we have Loki in Thor. Oh god, here it goes. For number 2, we have Loki in the Avengers. And for number 1, finally, we have the Winter Soldier from Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. Now, where do we want to put?
Oh, I want to hear what you think first, because I've talked a lot.
Well, we touched on it a bit before, but like Ronan is very one-dimensional. I feel like I had said before, you could probably switch Ronan in for some secondary Thanos henchman, and
Okay.
this would have been good, you know. I'm going to put him either number 8 or number 9.
Why that low?
Just because.
You think Aldrich Killian is better than Ronan?
Listen, do I think Aldrich Killian is better than anybody? No. Which is why this list is just. Oh God. No, I definitely think he's. No, I would say Aldrich Killian is better than this, in the sense that Aldrich Killian was able to fool everyone into thinking like AIM was good.
I did. Oh, I did like. That's why. Oh, now I remember why we thought Aldrich Killian was good.
Yeah.
Because we liked the way he outmaneuvered all the big players
Yeah.
of the MCU.
Yes.
That is true. That was very fun to watch.
Yeah. So if anything, this is the new number 8.
So underneath Aldrich Killian.
Yes. Whiplash is complete trash. Ronan was at least good, like he was fun to watch. I guess he had
Mm-hmm.
motive as opposed to
Sure.
Whiplash had shitty motives. Like, yes, it is genocide, but like he was adamant about it. Whiplash just wanted Tony Stark to die because I'm not going to continue this because I feel like I'm going to win you over. And
No,
okay, all right, okay, good.
I'm gonna try to win you over because I think I was trying to convince myself that he's better than Red Skull, and maybe we'll see. I think at least right now, so far, he's better than Obadiah Stane, so the new number 6. And hear me out. This is why. One, you are right. He is pretty one-dimensional, right? But that's what we agree on. He doesn't really have any like dynamic purpose. But neither does Thanos. They both want genocide. They're both justified in their own
Well,
genocide. Thanos goes a bit further in that he's cool. He thinks he's right, but then again, so do all these villains, right? Sorry, you want to go ahead?
oh, no, I was just gonna say, like, yes, they believe in genocide, but it's not like like one people's genocide. Like Thanos just wants to get rid of half of
True.
the world.
Yeah. That
Doesn't
was my
care
next
who
point.
the
Yeah.
fuck it is.
Thanos is doing this because he believes it's a good purpose, right? It's for the benefit
The
of
benefit
humanity.
of
Yeah.
the war, the
Or I guess
entire
yeah.
universe. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Ronan is doing this because he's like a military dude who's like, this is what the Kree used to do, and this is what we should be doing. Therefore, I should be doing this, right?
Like my father and his father before him. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So on that case, yeah, he's not as justified in genocide as Thanos is, I guess, if that makes sense. But like, it hurts the dimensionality of the character of Ronan in some way. So I will concede that front. But everything else, I think, is really well done. Like he's extremely menacing. He's this character that's hyper stylized. He comes out of a black bath, somehow breathing in that liquid. Comes out and gets like almost he's almost this godlike figure because we don't know how strong he is, but we know he is strong because he kicks the shit out of Drax. Um, Super like washboard abs. He's getting washed and dried by his servants, and then interviews someone from the Nova. Doesn't get the answers he needs, and like immediately brings the hammer down and kills him, and then just watches like the blood. I don't even know what that liquid was like drain into
Yeah.
that pool,
Yeah.
and it's super menacing. I think he's like a scary figure. I love like the conversation that they had with Peter at the end. Like he's still kind of just like some guy at the end of the day because he sits back and watches Peter do like this things like, what are you doing? I don't know. So I'm trying to convince myself that's better than Red Skull, but I think for that reason alone, he's at least like a mid-tier villain. Whereas I consider stuff like Aldrich Killian, Obadiah Stane, and down the list as
Yeah.
low-tier villains.
Yeah, but you see, like the thing about Obadiah Stane, like I've already defended Aldrich Killian. I'm not gonna continue defending Aldrich Killian.
Okay.
But Obadiah Stane was the first twist, I guess. Like, holy shit! Like we didn't expect him to become the villain. I guess if you read the comics, then yes, you kind of did. But like me as a person coming into the MCU, I didn't expect freaking Jeff Bridges to become a villain, like to backstab
Sure.
Tony, to essentially to raise him and let him be this person that creates destruction and have him like not even bat an eye at it up until he gets abducted per Obadiah Stane's orders, essentially. Like, if not for Obadiah Stane, we wouldn't have Iron Man.
This is true.
So
If not for Ronan, we wouldn't have the Guardians.
no, we still would have had the Guardians, I feel like.
No, they came together because of Ronan.
Yeah, but he wasn't selling to Ronan. No. They didn't. Yes, they did come together because of Ronan, but without Ronan, they still would have came together. He still stole from Yondu. No, Peter still stole from Yondu and tried to get those credits to the old guy that he was selling to.
And who hired Yondu?
I don't
Ronan.
remember. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, but like I feel like anybody could have hired Ronan. I mean, anybody could have hired Yondu. Well, again, essentially person. Okay, you got me there. You got me there.
You make a good point though. I mean, I'm just doing this just to because this is fun for me to like think about. Like this is fun for me just to think about these villains because you're right about Obadiah Stane. You're giving him more credit than I thought it would than I originally did.
I'm gonna go with the new number 8. That's just me.
The new number 8 underneath Aldrich Killian.
Yes.
And I'm saying over Obadiah Stane. Would you want to compromise and do one over Aldrich Killian, the new number 7? Meet in the middle and say not as good as Obadiah Stane, but better than Aldrich Killian.
Yeah, that's fair. Plus,
Happen in, buddy.
Aldrich Killian didn't, come up with a great fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, how fucking rad of a title that is, you know?
What a wild name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Conqueror, right? It's Ronan the Conqueror.
Oh shit, that's right. He has a full title.
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I know, I think you're right.
Oh no, it's Ronan
The Accuser, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was he accusing of?
That's true. Who is he accusing what of what?
Huh. That's interesting. I wonder why he. Yeah, like.
Also,
The
he's got that
Supreme-
great monologue when he like disobeys Thanos, and he's
Yeah.
like, anyway,
Okay. Which leads us into.
ranking the Marvel movies so far. Catching up on the list, we've got number 10, The Incredible Hulk. Number 9, Thor: The Dark World. Number 8, Thor. Number 7, Iron Man 2. Number 6, Iron Man 1. Number 5, top 5 people. Iron Man 3. Number 4, Black Widow. Number 3, Captain America, the First Avenger. Number 2, Marvel's The Avengers. And number 1, Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Where are you thinking this lands?
I've been dreading having to say this all podcast, but I'm gonna say it, okay?
Go for it.
This is better than the Avengers.
Wow.
We think the Avengers is a good movie, and for the most part, I'll agree. Sure, it's got like great memorable scenes because we love the characters of Captain America and RDJ. Up until that point, like Thor wasn't that great of a character. We barely knew Hawkeye, let alone Black Widow. And it's good because we love those characters. But that movie has like bad pacing and it's overly long. Whereas Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, is a much tighter movie. I think a lot of it lands a lot better. Like we said before, it's stylized. It's got great heart. I think it's got more heart than the Avengers does. Aside from that RDJ scene where he self-sacrifices, like that is a great scene. I'll concede on that front. But they've got a soundtrack that's like stellar for tone setting. And I think the emotional highs in Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, hit a lot more than anything that the Avengers does. Aside from the fan service of the Avengers, which is that circle scene, which is a good scene. Yes.
Wow. So you want that as the new number 2?
I am proposing this. I am prepared for your rebuttal.
Okay, because, sir, I would say maybe the new number 4 at best. The first Avenger. Oh no, my apologies. My apologies. I thought that we were talking about Captain America, the Winter Soldier, as the number 3 spot. My apologies. Yeah, you're making some great points. I do.
This is based off this list, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know how this would fare on my personal list, but
Yeah, I got nothing. You're right.
what do you think? Where would you want to put this?
Yeah, you've got it perfect.
What?
Like definitely not. Here's the thing, because I was going to say if number 3 was Captain America: The Winter Soldier, I would have been like, listen, we had a really great time last week talking about the Winter Soldier and
Oh,
how
fuck yeah.
those relationships forming with Cap and Nat, like, but like that's not the case here. Like, we're talking about Captain America: The First Avenger, which was a great movie. We're not saying that at all. It was just like the pacing in this is better. The shots, like you said, the shots are really, really good. You have me caring about a fucking raccoon and a
Hmm.
tree and a fucking tree
And a tree. Oh yeah, and a tree.
and a
Who
tree.
says like I am Groot over and over again? It's like fuck yes,
Yeah.
you're Groot. I love it.
Yeah. You have me believing this goofy character that starts off dancing in the beginning of this movie. Well, who starts off losing his. You start this movie off with him losing his mother and then him immediately getting abducted. Yeah, this is number two for sure. I can't deny this.
I can't believe that I convinced you. I was ready to like concede something else and like, all right, I'll knock it down a few pegs just for you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, you've convinced me that when I first came onto the show, I didn't expect you. Like, I didn't expect you to change my thoughts on this movie. It's an okay movie. Originally I thought, and then you started
Right.
talking about like how these certain things hit in this movie, like the relationship between fucking Rocket and the guy dying, and his last word
Yeah.
is Rocket. Like, come on, bro. You're right. It's number two.
And don't get it twisted. Like, I had to convince myself of this for a while too, because when I ask myself like, what movie would I rather watch? I think on any given Saturday, it might be The Avengers, like, because I think that's more of a memorable movie to like go through and watch and like,
Uh,
you know, we
Here's the
love The
thing.
Avengers.
I probably wouldn't pick the Avengers just because like
Oh wow.
I forget how long that movie is. I forget the fact that there's infighting between the Avengers. I completely forgot about.
Hmm.
I automatically picture like them fighting aliens in New York. That's the one
Yes.
thing that pops up in my head, and that's what I think of is the rest of the movie. Loki, and obviously him bringing in like Loki and the aliens coming in for to New York is what I think of in that movie. And there's so much more, which, like you said, Guardians goes three places. They go to Nova, then the prison, then nowhere, then Nova again.
And then just back to Xander, yeah.
Yeah. So like, um, yeah,
I think it's a stronger movie.
yeah, I have to agree.
I'm still amazed I somehow convinced you.
Yeah,
We'll see how you feel next week.
yeah. Oh, next week, I'm very excited.
I wonder what Eric is going to say about this. We'll see.
I feel like he'd agree. If anything, he was going to try to put it at number one, and that's when I would have had to stop him.
Yeah.
You know, that's too
We've
much.
got a new number 10. No, I think Eric agrees Winter Soldier is a better film.
I hope so, for his sake.
Our new top 10 goes Thor: The Dark World at number 10. Number 9, Thor. Number 8, Iron Man 2. Number 7, Iron Man 1. Number 6, Iron Man 3. Number 5, Black Widow. Number 4, Captain America: The First Avenger. Number 3, The Avengers. Number 2, Guardians of the Freaking Galaxy. You said it yourself, bitch. And number 1, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
What is this? A Guardians of the Galaxy movie? Christian,
Yeah.
thank you for joining me, sir. Where could people find you?
You can follow me at IsoChristian. You should catch the VOD of me doing the Hot Ones challenge over on twitch.tv/IsoChristian because it was legit an insane, hour and a half to 2 hours of me eating hot wings and just suffering.
Yeah.
Go catch that. I also do a movie podcast called Large Popcorn. New episode coming out tomorrow with Kale where we talked about Jennifer's Body. Fun to
Oof,
go back to that movie.
great movie.
And then I also do a weekly gaming podcast with Podcast PXN, breaking down the biggest news of the week in video games. Very fun.
Cool. Um, yeah, I keep trying to like plug myself, but I don't like
Do
doing
it.
this. You could find me on that guy Twitch on Twitter and Instagram at that guy Tuesday. You could find the socials for the channel are below. Feel free to give us a like and sub on YouTube. check out this VOD and tomorrow and give it like a ness up. And we can always use some more followers for Twitch. Yeah. Christian, do you know what this week is? Wednesday.
Shang-Chi?
Yes,
Oh.
yeah. But Wednesday is the beginning of September. And get excited.
Time to pay rent. Time to pay rent again, I guess.
I guess.
Wait, what? Oh! Now I know why.
September.
Now I know why.
Why?
Okay, yeah.
What?
Why? What?
September.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
What were you talking about?
I hope you're not Twitch streaming on Wednesday, by the way.
Oh, I mean, I was planning on it. We'll talk about this after the show. You have to tell me what's happening.
Okay.
Because, I'm very out of touch. I'm an old man.
Yes.
So, yeah. Just to recap, this week we are doing a Ghost of Tsushima stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Our He's All That review is actually Tuesday, tomorrow at 7 p.m. No, it's Wednesday. No, it might not be Wednesday. We'll see what happens. I guess I'm not streaming on Wednesday. Our State of the Union Fall 2021 episode of the Penultimate Games is on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to check out the website for merch. Check out I'm finally putting up the calendar for, what is it, August? No, that's not right. September. So get excited. Thank you, Christian, for joining me as always. You're great, a gentleman and a scholar, Ooh, what was that? Have a good night, guys.
Excelsior.